Hello and welcome to the Angus Report, a news program geared toward cattle producers. I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Paige Wallace. From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines, including a drought forecast from Texas.
What you need to know when selecting for Carcass merit.
And we take a look at the latest USDA corn report and what it means for cattlemen.
And a Kansas rancher shares her tips for telling Ag's story.
This is the Angus Report.
Our top story for the week. With summer setting in, the forecast for drought conditions is anyone's guess. But some Texas experts suggest producers there can expect higher than normal temperatures during the next 6 months. About 1/3 of the state has reportedly received enough rainfall this year to relieve dry conditions. But the remainder of the state is in significant drought. The Texas AgriLife Extension says the High Plains, parts of the western rolling plains, and virtually all of far west Texas will likely experience drought conditions this summer. Ranchers who lost significant grass stands last year are encouraged not to restock if that grass has not grown back significantly. Visit Texas AgriLife Extension online for more information and tips for coping with drought.
Some good news for cattle producers this week. The USDA corn report released this month forecasts a sharply higher corn supply in 2012, which could drop prices to $4.20 per bushel. USDA is predicting ending stocks of 1.88 billion bushels, and total corn production for the season is projected to reach a record 14.8 billion bushels. National average corn yields are pegged at 166 bushels per acre, thanks to favorable planting conditions and projected growing conditions. USDA's next corn report will be released June 30th. The potential for growth in carcass quality start at the ranch. Bob Weber of Kansas State University says the key to selecting for both is to balance selection decisions with perspective while staying focused on economically relevant traits.
One of the things that's happened in our business, obviously, over time is more emphasis on end product attributes, particularly by producers that may be retaining ownership of calves through the production system. And so that has an obvious connection. If we're going to make the point in time, our marketing endpoint, a carcass endpoint, it makes sense to apply our selection pressure then to traits that generate economic return in that system. As we look at forecast data for cow herd sizes and expected to grow dramatically over the next few years, and so our output in terms of beef production is very closely tied to the performance of individual animals, obviously, in the system. And we're going to have continued pressure on carcass weight for the near term to meet supply requirements of our value chain partners.
The Senate Ag Committee made initial steps toward the development of the 2012 Farm Bill last month when it adopted a bill presented by Senators Debbie Stabenow and Pat Roberts. The bill would cut net federal spending by $23 billion during the next 10 years by reducing farm subsidies and making changes in conservation funding and the program that issues food stamps. The draft farm bill would eliminate direct payments and instead create new risk coverage that would pay farmers for certain losses not covered by crop insurance. The bill also would reduce the maximum amount of land that can be enrolled in CRP from 32 million acres to 25 million acres in 2017. Meanwhile, the House Ag Committee has yet to adopt a proposal, and many analysts are questioning whether Congress can pass a farm bill prior to November elections. House Ag Committee Chairman Frank Lucas told reporters earlier this month that he expects the House version to be ready for markup in June and is optimistic a farm bill could be signed by year's end.
Certified Angus beef marked yet another first for the beef industry this month with the formal opening of its Education and Culinary Center in Wooster, Ohio. The 7,000 square foot facility offers an economy-scale kitchen and meat fabrication area where corporate chefs, meat scientists, and other beef industry partners can host the brand's 14,000 partners from around the world. The center was developed to provide hands-on beef fabrication training and to foster the development of the brand's merchandising, cooking techniques, educational information, and menu ideas.
You know, it's a milestone because it represents a step towards honestly building and serving as really a physical bridge that brings the multiple cultures of beef into one facility. You know, the culture of ranching way of life and the farming way of life with the culture of food, consumers, both retail and food service. That's really what this facility is designed to do, to serve as that place where we can, as a brand, you bring all entities together that we work with. The whole goal of what we intend to do here is to focus on, at the end of the day, focus on how people can be successful with this brand. This is as much an education facility about, about the program, but how people can be successful with it, ultimately tying all of our success to the satisfaction of the consumer.
Angus youth interested in participating in this year's National Junior Angus Show in Louisville, Kentucky have just a few weeks before an important deadline. Junior Show participants have until June 1st to submit entries for several National Junior Angus Association contests, such as writing, photography, and graphic design. Other contest entries are also due June 1st, including those for the auxiliary-sponsored CAB Cook-Off. Visit angus.org for complete NJAS contest information.
When the Angus Report returns, we'll discuss record-high CAB premiums.
Plus, Kansas rancher and blogger Debbie Lyons Blythe discusses ways to share Ag's story.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.